Hey guys, what's up? We're going to do a bit of theory today, and the reason is because Mr. Levi Rosman has just brought out a video talking about the Ponziani opening, where he lists shares some really interesting traps and stuff for white, and I've got a hunch that the Ponziani is suddenly going to become a bit more popular at the beginner and intermediate level. So with that in mind, let's do a refresher. In fact, I've done a bit more development on this, on the Freddy Krueger style response to the Ponziani. Okay, so here you see my Lichess study. This is public, you can access it for free, and when you do, this is how you're going to see it. I'm viewing this now in an incognito window, so I'm not logged into Lichess. This is how you're going to see it when you click on the link. I have 7 chapters right now. That's really all you're going to need in terms of preparation, certainly for pretty much anyone against this opening, because I mean it's not very popular, but I suspect it's going to get a bit more popular. So what is the Ponziani? Well, it's our standard Freddy Krueger fare. Against e4 we always play e5. Against knight c3 we play knight f6, knight f3, knight c6. Okay, and this is the Ponziani move. This is like a kind of mirror of the Caro-Kann, and it's pretty obvious what white is intending to do. He wants to push d4 supported by this. So it's something that you'll see like in the Alpine Sicilian, for example. If we played this, it's the same idea. Push c3, prepare d4, you want to grab the whole center. But white has not counted on facing a Freddy Krueger player, because we play now the Ponziani Countergambit, which they're not going to see very often. And what is the Ponziani Countergambit? Well, we push pawn to f5. This is the Freddy Krueger style, okay? And the most common move, half the time, and I've got this set to 1800, 2000, 2200 on Lichess, right? So this is like strong intermediate level. This is my level and a bit above. They're going to take the pawn, because they're not going to know what to do, because Levi didn't teach them this. Okay, so now this is interesting. So when they take here, we do not play the kind of obvious knight to f6. We do not play this move. We play queen to f6. Okay, this is what the engine says is best. So here you've got also my notes that it will teach you as you go, so just run through this a few times. The fish slightly favours white here, but black wins well from this point. We are supporting this pawn, we're attacking this pawn. Okay, we can't play the immediate, well, it says d5 striking for the centre immediately invites bishop b5, pinning our knight with the threat of this, so we don't want to do that anyway. So these are playing all the most common moves for white, by the way. Okay, so now they throw in d4. Well, it's a bit late, and the knight's going to come in. In fact, anything else for white here I think is just bad. The engine here likes the idea of pawn to d5, but actually capturing the pawn is pretty good, because what white is most likely to do is to do this, and you can just then push d5, hitting that bishop. Okay, right, so we want to develop and hit the knight a second time. Boom. Okay, and the knight goes back to here now, because he can't go anywhere else because of our advanced pawn on e4 there, right? And simply black is just better in all lines from this point. We can develop, we can get castled, we can develop this knight, and more than anything else, our poor hapless Ponziani player, who's just learned a few traps off a Gotham video, is not going to know what to do, and he's going to feel like he ain't in Kansas anymore. Right, so let's go through it again. So that's the most common line, the accepted line followed by d4. Okay, we play knight c6, they do this. This is the Ponziani Countergambit. They're already thinking WTF. Okay, and what do we do when they accept? We play our queen to f6. Right. And most common move, but it's a mistake, because now we can play d5, and what are we thinking? Exactly. Right. You know the drill. We push e4 with tempo, hit the knight. Knight comes to here. He's trying to hang on to this pawn. Fat chance, my son. We take that. And now white has double isolated queen pawns, the old DIQP. This pawn is not long for this world. We are in the driving seat. We are simply going to do better. Right. That's it. I guess we grab that with development. And the most common move is to castle. We just grab another free pawn and happy days. All right, cracking on. Right, how do they decline it? Here's the Ponziani. Here's the Ponziani Counter Gambit. You don't know what to do you? Okay, now, this is white's best move, as it is in many lines, as it is in the Vienna Gambit, for example, which is what this whole black repertoire is based on, the Vienna Gambit idea. So if white knows what to play against the Vienna Gambit with the black pieces, then they may come up with this, all right? So, particularly when the bishop isn't out here, the general rule is to capture with tempo, capture there. Okay, again, they simply have to do this. We've got a dog coming downstairs very noisily now. Okay, now, there's a general rule here. When this knight, and this we see this in a lot, so if you play like the Freddy Krueger anti-Scotch, lots of these openings, when their knight comes into here, what you don't want to do is you don't want to capture. Right, it's much better to develop. Now, we've got knight f6, we've got queen f6. I'm suspecting queen f6 is the move. Yeah, okay. Again, engine has white slightly better, but black wins 59% of the time from here. Just play on. Just play on. We're doing fine here. Okay, so that's really all you need to know about the d4. Oh, hang on. Okay, so it does continue. We're going to put the king over here, taking advantage of putting our rook on f8 on the semi-open file. So we're going to capture here with a b pawn, again like you very often do in the Vienna. So if you are a Vienna player and a Vienna Gambit player with the white pieces, you'll know what to do. Okay. And then we just solidify our center and crack on. Okay, all good. Happy? Good. Let's move on. Declining with d3 now. La 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 la. Oh, you've seen the Gotham video. Let's play the Ponziani Counter Gambit. You're not going to know what to do. All right. Now d3. d3. Is it queen to there? Nope. Do we just capture it? Nope. Do we develop our knight to there? Nope. Okay, I haven't added a note for this, so declines d3. No. What's the solution? Okay, so we're missing a note on that. I'll go and add that in for you guys. Okay, so yeah, this is a kind of an unintuitive move, but we do very well, so we can develop the knight now. They're going to capture, we grab the center, and that's it. We are already just better. Okay, and if you want to go any of these, go on the analysis board as well. You feel free. Now we're going to just look at 3 sidelines, all of which are bad for white. Because remember, we're knocking white out of his comfort zone. He's not expecting this move. This move is already, and this is terrible. Okay, now if they capture here and we push here, we could be threatening a pawn fork. But of course our pawn would not be defended there, so we're going to develop our knight first. To prepare that, we can go ahead and take. Bishop will take, okay? d5 is very tempting here, and it's not a bad move at all, but actually grabbing the bishop is better. And now we grab the full center, and now this is important, right? And you're going, but Hunty, wait. White has 2 attackers on this pawn. I'm like, I know, but if we hit the queen is in danger. Then the queen can't be the first piece to take on here, because white loses his queen. So we can absolutely push d5. This is the most common move. Okay, and we want to defend this pawn now a second time. And how do we do it? We do it with our queen. And we are already absolutely fine and tickety boo. Right out, cracking on. Cracking on. Ponziani, how's about that? Oh, a thunder blunder. We love a thunder blunder, don't we, boys and girls? Okay, capture with tempo. Okay, centre with tempo. Boom! Look at that centre. Look at that. Now, look at this pawn and look at that bishop. Bishop's a long way from home. So we're going to bring out our queen and we're going to hit the g2 pawn. Now the best move actually was king f7. King f1. But they're not going to play that. So here we bring the bishop out, hit the queen now. And I'll take that, thank you very much. And the knight comes out, and now we can just line everything up. Oh, you grabbed a pawn, did you? Okay. Well, how about that? Okay. And we're just doing great. We're doing really well, you know. They grab here, we can just go back, and then we're threatening a fork on everything, and it's just ghastly. This one is arguably even worse. And there we go. Oh, you're a Ponziani player. I see. Ah, queen c2. Okay, a blunder. Just taking the centre. And they are most likely to do this. And we've kind of been here before, right? If the queen goes back there, actually, well, you know, queen back to here or to here, they're kind of equally common. What do we play in this position? Don't know. This, I thought queen here looks good, but push on, hit the knight. We don't trade. We don't want to trade here. Yes, we give them the DIQPs, but in fact this move is even stronger. And really stake our claim on the centre now. C5. And in fact, the computer now says C4 and just keep pushing on and squeezing the living breath out of white. But there you go. I mean, that's how to meet the Ponziani. What we don't want to do is we don't want to go into the lines that Levi's gone over, because that would just be too nice for our opponents. We're going to play pawn to f5, the Ponziani Counter Gambit. We're going to throw them right off their stride. And in all of these lines, if you want to study these and become a virtuoso Ponziani Counter Gambit player, then be my guest. But yeah, I really like this, the Lichess study mode, and like I say, you can go onto the analysis board as well on any of these. So yeah, knock yourselves out, guys. Have a practice, just once a day. Go through these. I'll go and fill in those couple of little gaps that we've got there, because I've just been doing this prep this morning for you, and I'm looking forward to some hapless Gotham subscribers coming along and trying to Ponziani me, because they're not going to get away with it. Okay, thanks for watching. See you later.